shot.
Urban Nights Update is next. Coming up, the tainted vegetables that have resorted a record notice.
The Bay Area basketball star who's using his shooting talent to help out North Bay fire victims.
You'll meet a fantasy football player who's been able to make enough money to make his main job.
And how to rekindle communications with people by saying nothing at all. All that and more next on Urban Nights Update. Hi, and welcome to Urban Nights Update. Wendy Dong is joining me. I'm Brett Beauvais, and here are the top stories. Mann's Packing is issuing an urgent recall on various vegetable products from supermarkets all over the U.S. and Canada. The company says these products may have been contaminated with a harmful bacteria called Listeria. Supermarkets affected include Walmart, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Major. This recall comes after a random sampling by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Vegetables affected have a best if used by date of October 11th to October 20th. Customers should not consume these products, but instead should throw them away or return them to the place of purchase. So far, Mann's Packing claims there have been no illnesses linked to the products.
The battle to reform the tax code is on. On late Thursday night, Senate Republicans passed a budget that they hope will change the tax structure later this year. The GOP's ultimate goal is planning to add $1.5 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years, which also include about $4 trillion in spending cuts. However, it seems like not all the senators are satisfied with this consideration. Some of them are concerned Medicare will be sacrificed in order to give a tax break to big corporations.
The 2017 tax bracket will rain on the wealthy this year, according to House Speaker Paul Ryan. The plan released last month by the White House included reducing the current 7 brackets to 3. This leaves a top rate of 35%, meaning big savings for the wealthiest Americans. The outline did not include overall income levels on how this will impact other taxpayers. Ryan says we don't lower taxes for higher income individuals so that all revenue goes to middle income taxpayers.
Senator John McCain hits back at President Trump after bashing the senator again and again for thwarting GOP healthcare plans. During an interview on Sunday, although he did not name him by name, McCain called out Trump and his reasons for dodging the Vietnam War draft. McCain says it was morally wrong for wealthy people to use bone spurs as an excuse to dodge the draft. President Trump was able to get a medical deferment from serving in the war because of bone spurs. Another prominent Republican is also speaking out. Former President George W. Bush spoke at the Spirit of Liberty event in New York City. Bush seemingly hurled undercover criticism at President Trump, criticizing the current political landscapes and asserting that racists and bourgeois have no place in America. Bush received support from other Republicans like John McCain, applauding his course to restore Americans' values.
Former President Barack Obama gave his first campaign speech since leaving office. He urged America to rise above its serious and deep divisions. He did not mention President Trump by name, but the speech made multiple references to his controversial style of politics. Obama even went as far as to warn America in the speech, saying, "Our democracy is at risk." And all 5 living former presidents are trying to raise money for disaster victims. They made an appearance together this past weekend at a concert to raise money for hurricane victims. This is the first time these 5 have been gathered together in almost 5 years. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter, George H.W., and George W. Bush on one stage in College Station, Texas, to attempt to unify the country and bring aid to victims of Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria.
With the devastating fires that ravaged the Sonoma, Napa, Solano, Mendocino, and Yuba counties, the process of relief efforts are in full effect. 1,100,000 people were affected and over 5,000 homes and businesses destroyed. There are still ongoing efforts to get people into homes, getting them food and clothing. There are many relief agencies that can use your help and support. Now that the immediate danger is over, people in the Napa and Sonoma counties are now trying to move forward. Alex Fernandez has the story.
The fire in Napa and Sonoma County is the greatest natural disaster Northern California has ever seen. Residents are not only worried for their family and homes, but also for their income.
These fires have been rough, with work especially. The smoke and the air quality has been terrible. We've been closed for a few days, and basically I've been trapped in my house. No cell phone service, no power. My parents got evicted, so this last week's been an emotional toll, I'd say, for a lot of people in this town.
Just on the other side of the mountain, the firestorm continues to devastate. I drove south on Highway 29 to give a visual on how massive this firestorm is.
I haven't been able to work these past few days because of the fire, but once the fire is completely contained, I'm sure I'll have a lot of jobs to work on because the houses are burned down from the fire. And I just got done walking my dogs. I had to wear this because of the fire. It's like literally raining ashes, and it's just been a real tough time for the community.
I'm here in Napa, and the Sunday night wildfire is continuing its path of destruction, making its way all the way to Sonoma County. There's only a few local residents looking to fundraise and pave a path towards giving back towards the first responders.
So I've been thinking about ways I can do my part and to help the community out. So I've reached out to my employer, reached out to a couple chefs, a couple restaurants here in the valley. I'm looking to reach out to some wineries in the next couple of days, and I'm looking to put something together and to give something back to the community.
It's now time to help out with efforts to give back to the students and schools that were affected by the fires. The Art Council began creating 3D printed pins that are being sold to high school students. The money made from these pins will go to the counselor's Director of Student Life, who will determine where the money is needed most. The goal of the project is to teach students to not only be aware of what's happening around them, but to take initiative. The Golden State Warriors shooting guard Klay Thompson took to Twitter Friday morning to announce his pledge to help aid the victims of the North Bay fires. Thompson pledged to donate $1,000 per point that he scores in his next 3 home games to help the affected.
And you can donate as well by clicking on the link below. We will be donating to the Redwood Credit Union's fire relief effort.
He's estimated to donate between $65,000 to $80,000.
It's lit. San Francisco officials have approved $6.5 million of funding for a project that will light the street of Van Ness Avenue with 354 historic streetlights. Each light costs approximately $18,500. Each official justified the cost of this project by stating that it will provide better lighting around parked cars and bus stops. The luxury transportation service Carriot has announced that it will resume providing transportation to the San Francisco Bay Area after failing an inspection with the California Highway Patrol. The routine inspection of the transportation company revealed that several drivers were not credited with Department of Motor Vehicle commercial license. Chariot is set to resume the service on Thursday, October 26th.
San Franciscans have been using apps like Uber and Lyft to make their lives a little easier. However, users don't think about how the people who work these apps are depending on the money they make from it. In Lower Pacific Heights, Isaac Bauer has the story.
There's a lot to do and see here in the city of San Francisco, but it's not the easiest to maneuver. The people generally resort to public transportation or taxis. Thanks to apps like Lyft and Uber, visitors and locals can find inexpensive rides to wherever they need to go. With over 45,000 Lyft and Uber drivers in the city, everyone can find a ride instantaneously, right on their smartphones.
According to the Transit Network Company, Lyft and Uber drivers account for 20% of miles driven on San Francisco streets. But who are these drivers?
What's interesting is that many of these drivers are actually depending on these apps as a primary job. While some of the drivers work other day jobs, many of them are relying on these apps for income. Take Dylan Wistoff, for example, who's been driving Lyft for 2 years.
Financially, it's been very helpful. Every little bit helps living in the Bay Area, especially when you're a recent graduate like me and paying off my student loans. It's very helpful. I love that it's my own hours. If there's a day I'm not feeling well or a day I want to sleep in, I can sleep in. If I just want to turn on the app and go pick up people coming home from a Giants game late at night, I can do that to make some quick cash.
These drivers come from all over to work in the city. Take Pedro Santos, for instance, a Lyft driver living in the Bay, originally from Brazil. Lyft helps me with making money. Also, I can work whenever and as much as I want. In the morning, late at night. With the addition of the Scoot app in San Francisco, Lyft and Uber drivers now have another competitor to worry about. In San Francisco, I'm Isaac Bauer with your Urban Nights update.
Along with Scoot, the Waze app has also introduced its new carpool feature, creating more competition for Lyft and Uber drivers.
Fantasy football may be more than a guilty pleasure for some people. Surprisingly, it can be a stable source of income for some extreme players. Luke Lacey has the story.
Fantasy football is one of the biggest industries in the United States. 32 million Americans spend roughly $15 billion each year playing. At this point, it's much more than a guilty pleasure for fans to watch. For serious fantasy football players like Josh Carlin, NFL Red Zone is the only way to watch football every Sunday. Rather than watch a single game like normal football fans, Josh is able to watch every single game being played in real time.
I used to care about the outcomes in NFL games, but now not as much. I'm a commissioner of 2 of my leagues, and the stakes are high because there's a lot of money on the line. I'm in multiple leagues. The price range is quite a lot. It runs from $1,000 to $4,000 buy-ins. Since I'm a full-time college student and a baseball player, there's not much time to get a job. So with fantasy football, I would like to think that's my full-time job because there's so much money on the line and so much money to be won. For that reason, I put many hours of research on my team so they can win every week.
October, when the NFL goes pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Hi, everyone. Welcome to NFL Red Zone from NFL Network.
Football Sunday might as well be a national holiday in homes like these. These two friends have a lot of money and, more importantly, bragging rights on the line. Josh's good friend Angel is also very much involved in fantasy football as he plays in this league and in multiple others for cash prizes.
So we put a lot of money into this fantasy football league. Naturally, it gets competitive and it brings out the ugly side of every single one of us.
For the lead, late first half, Tavecchio right down.
Reporting for Urban Nights Update in San Francisco, I'm Luke Lacey.
Who would have thought that fantasy football is on a similar level as real football when it comes to money changing hands?
Enough of the fantasy sports. Let's hand it over to Isaac, who has this week's Urban Nights Update and RU Athletics.
Thanks, Brett, and welcome to this week's sports segment. It was a good weekend for RU Soccer. Academy of Arts women's soccer team recorded their first win of the season this Saturday. The two teams battled in an it-out at City College of San Francisco. Holy Name's offense put on the pressure early in the first half, firing off 4 shots in the first 13 minutes, but were all denied. The Knights' defense stepped it up the rest of the way, only allowing 2 more shots on goal the rest of the first half. Minute 27 of the first half, RU on the attack, a perfect lob pass from defender Aaliyah Salas to midfielder Abby Chavez, and she heads it in past the keeper for a goal. Chavez's second goal of the season, RU up 1-0. 10 minutes into the second half, midfielder Sydney Cook tearing it up the right side, blowing by everyone. She crosses it perfectly into the center of the goalie box to Alyssa Rasmussen, who boots it in for another goal. Rasmussen's first collegiate goal. Urban Knights up 2-0. Junior goalie Morgan Wers was perfect, collecting 8 saves. She has 20 saves in just the last 2 games. The Knights shut out Holy Names, winning 2-0. RU will be hitting the road as they take on Azusa Pacific on Thursday. After the girls' game, the boys' soccer team also collected a win against Holy Names. A pretty defensive-heavy first half. The Knights holding Holy Names to only 1 shot on goal in the 22nd minute, while the Knights had 3. The action really picked up in the second half, both sides combining for 10 shots in the first 20 minutes, which culminated in the goal from junior midfielder Bobby Gutierrez. The ball ricochets off a Holy Names defender from a throw-in right to the feet of Gutierrez. Gutierrez boots it from 25 yards out to the back left corner of the net, giving the Knights a 1-0 lead. Less than 7 minutes later, sophomore midfielder Isaiah Quiros sends it from the top of the box to the back of the net. Urban Knights now up 2-0. The Knights had the opportunity to shut out the opponent just like the girls' team, but with just 8 minutes left in the contest, Holy Names managed to slip a goal by the Urban Knights defense, making the final score 2-1. This win improves their season record to 4-8 overall. RU will be heading to LA for the final road trip of the season, taking on the top 2 teams in the Pac West, Azusa Pacific and the 5th-ranked Cal Baptist team. The Pac West Conference Championships for cross country were held this Saturday at the Crystal Springs course in Belmont, California. RU competed in the women's 6K and the men's 8K very well, placing 2nd in the conference. 7 Urban Knights runners managed to make all Pac West teams. Highlights include 3rd place finishes from Philippou and in the 6K and RU in the 8K. And that's this week's edition of sports. Make sure to join us next time.
8. That's how many players from the 49ers knelt during Sunday's national anthem. And it all starts with owner Jed York, easily the most vocal owner in the league for supporting the players' First Amendment rights. The Cowboys, on the other hand, did not have much free reign, after Cowboys owner Jerry Jones threatened to bench players that did anything to disrespect the flag. Defensive end David Irving raised his right fist during the final note of the national anthem to show his support while still respecting the flag. Super Bowl fans may be happy to hear that Justin Timberlake is officially headlining the 52nd Super Bowl halftime show. 14 years later, after wardrobe malfunction with headliner Janet Jackson, Justin will have the chance to redeem himself. Rumors have been spreading since Justin was named frontrunner, and the question still remains, will Janet Jackson join him?
A new game that combines volleyball and foursquares is taking the nation by storm. You can find spikeball nets set up at your local parks and beaches. Luke Lacey is at Kimball Park in San Francisco with the story.
Every Wednesday night, people come from all around San Francisco to Kimball Park to compete in a spikeball tournament and enjoy some friendly competition. Spikeball is a combination of volleyball and foursquare. 2 teams of 2 play against each other and try to cooperatively hit the ball up and down to the net within 3 hits. Then it is the other team's job to get the ball back to the net and the rally goes on. Failure to do so results in a point for the opposing team. Here at Wednesday Night Spikes, they take their spikeball pretty seriously. You won't find a single game being played without the Pro Series Edition ball. Wednesday Night Spiker Jacob Heyman is excited about the new and growing community.
I love the community. Everyone's super friendly. And then also, I just love the sport of spikeball. It's a great break from reality, great break from the city. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's great to get more people involved in the sport.
Talon Peterson has built a strong spike ball community here in San Francisco.
I started loving playing spike ball. I started traveling to tournaments and realizing that it was just a great group of people, a great group of people that always want to come together and, even if it's not just playing spike ball, hanging out afterwards, hanging out before, playing a bunch of side games. And so I wanted to bring that back and really build that community here in San Francisco as well, because there wasn't really a big community here. And I saw it in other places like LA, Chicago, East Coast. And so building it here was important for me. And so that's why I started the league, the Golden Gate Round Net League. And it's really grown into something beautiful. Now we've got our awesome shirts, and we've got a bunch of people that come out every Wednesday night, league members and pickup guys, and really made a whole new group of friends out of it.
Reporting for Urban Knights Update in San Francisco, I'm Luke Lacey.
The spikeball community is growing fast. There is now a spikeball app that notifies you when people are playing near you.
Thanks, Isaac. Now let's take a trip on over to Talia with the Bay Area's latest travel news.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's special segment, Travel with Talia, where I give you the latest updates and tips on all things regarding travel. The North Bay Area wildfires have not only devastated families, homes, schools, and animals, but businesses as well, specifically vacation spots in Napa Valley. The hashtag NapaStrong promotes that although the beautiful wine country of Napa Valley and Sonoma County did suffer through some devastating elements, they are working hard to restore these vacation businesses and homes. Owners are looking forward to welcoming back visitors after the fires. If you have planned or are planning to travel to Napa Valley soon, be sure to check the status of businesses online at napavalley.com/fire news updates. Let's jump on over to the East Bay, where residents in Stockton are not too happy to hear that their local airport may change its name from Stockton Metropolitan Airport to San Francisco Stockton Regional Airport. The San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors have yet to make a final decision. The airport provides both passenger and cargo services, which is why it is trying to change the name. Stockton Airport Committee members believe that if they can incorporate San Francisco into the name, people will understand and know exactly what part of the country they are flying into. Business leaders agree by saying the modifying of smaller airport names with a well-known city has potential to financially benefit everyone across the region. Talk about making money. Southwest Airlines has recently announced that it intends to launch its new service to the tropical islands of Hawaii. The airline plans to begin sales as early as next year, which is in fact just a few months away if you think about it. Executive Vice President Andrew Watterson claims that because their fares will be lower than other airlines, it will bring more business and possibly bring down the market price of overall tickets. He calls this process the Southwest effect. Along with lower airfare prices, Southwest does not charge for their first check bag, another plus to this already great news. The company will announce travel routes at a later time, but did reveal that California will be the first state to host these flights. Lucky us. Travel tip of the week. If you're looking for the cheapest flight, book your ticket on a Tuesday 6 weeks before your travel date. Rumor has it that this is the best time to book a flight. Well, that's a wrap for this week's special segment. I'm Talia Thompson. Travel safe, y'all.
Thanks, Talia. And now we go to Tosh Downson for your entertainment.
For this week on entertainment, we have some updates on upcoming movies as well as an announcement from Netflix. To kick things off, the world's first hand-painted film was made, and it's called Loving Vincent, as a tribute to Vincent van Gogh and his story as he became one of the most influential artists to this day. The film was made possible with the help of over 100 artists as they invented the slowest form of filmmaking in the process. The film is set to be released this September 22nd, 2018. For all you superhero lovers, Marvel has just dropped a new trailer for the highly anticipated Black Panther trailer. This gives us a brief look into the Black Panther's unique home of Wakanda. Michael B. Jordan reunites with Ryan Coogler, who helped direct Creed, where Michael starred as the lead boxer, but this time around, he plays as the Black Panther's rival, Killmonger.
Explorers have searched for it. Called it El Dorado. They looked for it in South America. But it was in Africa the whole time. I'm the only one who's seen it. And made it out alive. world is changing. Soon, there will only be the conquered and the conquerors.
Step into the spotlight.
You are a good man
Step into the spotlight.
with a good heart. And it's hard for a good man to be a king.
The film is set to hit theaters next year, February 16th, so make sure you get out and watch. Warning, spoiler alert, for those who love Netflix, lots of shows like How I Met Your Mother, such as movies like Twilight series, as well as Sky High are being dropped in November. So be sure to get home and watch them while you can before they are gone for good. One of the reasons for all these movies disappearing is due to Netflix dropping its current streaming service, 24, and switching over to Amazon Prime for more money. You can find a complete list of movies and shows set to be removed on justjared.com. That's all we have for this segment on entertainment. See you next time.
Thanks, Taj. Staring at a stranger to some may seem odd, but at this event, it is the best way to connect with one another. Brianna Keys has the story.
In a world ran by smartphones, have we forgotten how to truly connect with one another? Oakland joins the world's largest eye contact experiment to pose the question, where has the human connection gone?
We're going to just raise our hands and let them go. 1, 2, 3. All right, start.
People gathered at Lake Merritt to share 1 minute of eye contact with a stranger to demonstrate how powerful connection can be publicly.
So much of our community is just based around, again, like social media really determining our worth, that having an opportunity to really just connect with people on that spiritual level, on that just like personal level is so intense, but like also exciting and amazing at the same time. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited.
The act of looking in someone's eyes turned out to be a lot stronger than some people thought.
I feel it's opened up. I feel like I'm opened up and that other person opens up, and there's a connection that happens that you don't find anywhere on the streets or very rarely. And so to do this kind of exercise is, I think it's vital. I think we've lost the connection in this day and age. With sunglasses, with iPhones, with earbuds, as you said earlier, people are just, there's a level of disconnect that's happened, and this helps to re-engage that connection.
This experiment helps some realize how positive connection can change our world.
It's the choice to be intentional about how we connect, which I think we've lost. So how we're connecting right now is over conflict and disagreements and differences, but we're engaging with each other around those things. And with an event like this, we get to choose to connect in a different way, with peace, love, curiosity, neutrality, openness, and from a place of safety. So I think that's really important that we create those spaces intentionally.
This experiment has touched over 50 countries in the year 2017 alone, and there are more to be added to the list next year. For more information, you can go to eyecontactexperiment.com. In Oakland, I'm Brianna Keys, and this is your Urban Nights Update.
Maybe we dance, yeah.
To be a part of the connection next year, go to eyecontactexperiment.com.
Getting into the Halloween spirit is always fun for children. For today's question of the week, let's see what some adults would have liked to be for Halloween.
What would I be for Halloween? I'd be Black Panther.
Freddy Krueger. 100%. I'd be Freddy Krueger.
Superman. Because he can fly.
I think it's a cute car. I like their uniform. I like all the black.
Cool, scary, you know. It's good to be scary when you're a kid. It's Halloween. You know?
He can see through stuff, and he's invulnerable.
Halloween and you know, and it's fun to be like tongue-in-cheek, right? Like
You gotta spook everybody, all your friends, you know. Especially being a boy, you gotta be scary as hell.
And that's it for this edition of Urban Nights Update. For everyone here, thanks for watching. I'm Wayne Zhou.
And I'm Brett Bove. Join us again. See you back next time.